The top 10 methods for finding free deals. What is up, guys? Zach in here.
Rick in here.
And in today's video, we're going to break down the top ways to find free wholesaling deals today. I don't know anyone else that's breaking down exactly how to do this for free because most gurus want to charge you money and find a way to make money off of you. But guys, we're showing you exactly the top free methods for finding real estate wholesaling deals. So before we get into it, do us a huge favor and smash that like button and subscribe, and let's get into it. So free deals. Everybody and their mother talks about finding real estate wholesaling deals. Not a lot of people understand the ways of finding free deals. You know, there's so many hidden old school tactics of finding free deals that everybody knows, you know, do a pretty much a standard list and then go cold call or SMS text blast. But really there's a lot of hidden free tactics, free methods for wholesaling real estate. And we're excited to break them down all today. Let's break it down. So number 10, the IRS debt lien list, the credit card debt lien list, and the tax lien list. This is an absolutely amazing list. So you understand what these lists are. These are people behind on basically their taxes from the IRS, people behind on their credit card, people behind on their taxes. They get a lien on it.
A lien simply a product or a service that is put against the property for a promise of final payment. Like mortgages do this. So the IRS can do it if you don't pay your taxes. Obviously your credit card, if you don't pay your credit card bill, they have the ability to attach it to your property. And then your tax liens, that's when you don't pay your taxes, so they don't get tied up in taxes. They fund them with certificates, but they put a lien on your property and you pay a interest rate and sometimes a penalty. These are perfect opportunities for people that are in distress, and it is a great sign to find a motivated seller every time.
So you basically pull this list from the county clerk, go to public records, and the liens are basically right there. Number 9, pre-foreclosures, one of our favorite free ones. So basically, you're behind on your mortgage, about 120 days, about 3 or 4 payments, usually on the pre-foreclosure list. Everybody knows what a foreclosure is when the bank takes over the property due to non-payment. But a pre-foreclosure is basically before that happens. And there's 2 types of pre-foreclosures. There's a pre-foreclosure and then just a pre-foreclosure. Really hard to get that pre-foreclosure list. Basically, people that just like missed 1 payment. But pre-foreclosure, they missed 3 or 4. These are a really good list. Just understand everyone markets this list, but there's still so many great ways to do it, especially those like sticky notes and stuff. They're amazing.
So the sweet spot for a pre-foreclosure is within like a 90-day period because they've fallen behind, and a responsible person will go, hey, you know, I need to either make up the payments or I need to sell the house, and they'll make a little bit quicker decision. Once they get too far down the line, it moves into a full-out foreclosure process where they basically hire attorneys, go to court, file paperwork, and enter in what they call a lis pendens, and that's basically a fancy word for saying, hey, we're entering into a formal lawsuit to try to recoup our debts. Now, if you catch them in the beginning, I just find you're still going to get the drama, but you have a shot in getting a deal. Once they miss 3 or 4 payments, it becomes the new norm. Yeah. And then they get a red card, and then most of them will procrastinate and wait till the final sale date. I find if you wait till the final sale date, it's very, very hard to buy those properties because the liens are so high. There's a court order, and it usually takes some sort of legal maneuver, which is going to cost you money. That way, I want you to catch them in the beginning. Pre-foreclosure is really where it's at to find your best motivated sellers.
Definitely. And you just pull that. Basically, you can use like a listrei.com service, zacday.com. Sometimes your title company will actually get you that list. Or if you really want, just look for those list pendences. But really a pre-foreclosure, it's kind of a little nuanced list, notice of defaults, but really there's a lot of ways to find it. We recommend you go to freewholesaling.com. We literally did a 2-hour complete breakdown on pre-foreclosures. Really, when you're dealing with a seller in pre-foreclosure, you should really be educated on the process. And at freewholesaling.com, obviously, we break it down.
Okay, so number 8 on garage sales. Why I love garage sales is because it's an opportunity. You guys know on mostly Saturdays, a little bit Sundays, you go by and you can look at garage sales. So the easiest way to find them is find them on your Facebook garage sale pages. They'll give you a list, and it's nice. You can organize them. We used to go to Craigslist when I did it back in the day, but I think Facebook, like Instagram's a better barometer to find your garage sales. And what happens at the garage sale is you're going to see tons of stuff outside. The key here is understanding most people have a garage sale have some sort of life-changing event. Either it is the seller looking to move out of the property and get like furniture and get the garage cleared out. And usually people do garage sales first prior to either listing a house or even selling it to a wholesaler. The other part of it is what we call the renter midnight move out. And what they want to do is grab as much cash as possible, so because they know they have to leave because they're behind in the rent. So they put their furniture out, all their belongings and all their friend stuff. And that is an opportunity because the renter is moving out and the seller doesn't even know it. So by taking those garage sales and just contacting the absentee owners, meaning find the owners that don't live there, and you see a garage sale, you have a high probability that that house is going vacant. And here's the really cool part is the owners don't even know it. So you can contact them, say, listen, I saw the garage sale, and just simply ask them, are you interested in selling your property? Bam, you have caught them before it goes on the market, before any other wholesalers reached out to them, and definitely any other realtor is a great opportunity.
And then basically the second part here, the for sale by owners, I kind of mix them together because they're very similar type of crowd. I like the Zillow for sale by owners. You've been on this channel long enough. You see me going live talking about it. Absolutely amazing and killer list to be going after. Number 7, the arrest records and bail bondsman list. The arrest record list, I mean, people who own houses get arrested too, right? And these aren't like violent felonies we're talking about, right? Basically they're getting arrested and maybe they might want to sell their house, right? Sometimes we do deal with people on the arrest record list. We do a lot of really good wholesaling deals where they're going away for like 1 or 2 years and they just want to get rid of the property. Sometimes they got to make bail, things like that. And that's a great list to be going after. And it's a free list. Get it from the sheriff's office, or you can publicly look at the arrest record list.
Your next opportunity is a bail bond. You're like, okay, we're talking about arrest records, bail bonds. Bail bond is basically a bond that's put up when somebody goes out on bail to ensure they show up to their court case and they don't skip town. Now, what does this have to do with real estate? I'm here to tell you. Most people's biggest asset is their home. So if they have a $100,000 bail, typically they can put up a bond. The bond's going to charge a premium of 10%, and they want to collateralize it against something in case the person skips town. So in this case, they put a $10,000 lien against a property. They're typically put them in a first position. They're very smart with it. And what happens is if the bond doesn't get paid or the person doesn't show up to court, then they can move forward and start foreclosing on the house to make sure they get a collection. Why is that important to you? Because once again, it gives you a little known avenue that no other wholesalers that I know of use, and it gives you first crack at buying these properties. Bail bondsmen are sharp, but they don't want to own the real estate. So a lot of times they will sell it for quick cash to make sure they get paid. So the easiest way to find a bail bondman is really just Google your local area, and there's usually going to be 2 or 3 predominant bails people, and just ask if you can kind of talk to them. I like to go by there and just have a conversation with them, and you would be shocked to find out how many properties they own or how many outstanding liens or foreclosures they got going. You want to get access to this list and see if you can make an offer on them.
Number 6, JVing or co-wholesaling. These are free deals you can be going after, just networking on Facebook group, networking the live streams we have all the time. I'm telling you right now, JVing and co-wholesaling is definitely a great way to find deals. We make hundreds of thousands JVing with people, and you can too.
Correct. And remember, if you're better on the disposition side and you have someone that's just killer on the acquisition side, that creates a perfect opportunity, especially in your first year of wholesaling.
Number 5, fire damage properties. Properties go on fire all the time. That fire department, if you have any friends working there, they're always busy, right? Mm-hmm. So these are really good deals to be going after. Everyone thinks we go after properties that just entire got burned into a crisp. And no, it's like, little kitchen fire, a little fire in the hallway there where maybe it's $10,000, $15,000 for the damage. Like nothing crazy. The house is still fine. And those are really big motivations. Now we do deal with the house that went completely on fire and they got insurance checks and there's got to deal with builders. I mean, it's a little more complicated, but fire damage properties is a free list. Go to your firehouse or fire department. They're probably going to say no the first 1, 2, 3 times, but if you keep going after it, you're going to do really well. Number 4, the water shutoff list. I mean, I think we've gone camp together sometimes, especially when I was younger. And living in a tent where there's no running water is never fun. And I've never lived in a house without running water, but I can imagine if the water got shut off at my house, I would want out of there, right? Just get rid of the property. And that's the way water shutoffs work, right? Mm-hmm. You do not want to be living in a property with the water shut off. And if they're not able to pay the water bill, they probably need to get rid of the property, right? And it's a great list. Go to the utility department, make sure it's a public company, and you'll find that list, right?
I agree. Number 3, code violations. This is simply a list put together by your local city or county, and they have basic rules to try to keep values and the city looking pretty. So an example, overgrown grass, a hole in the roof, or somebody running a huge business out of the front yard. They get reported typically by the neighbors. They open up an investigation, and a city officer comes out, and then they write them a citation. They give them 30 days to fix it. They don't fix it. They go on this list, and if they do not pay the fines and fix the violation, then the money accrues against the property. And what does that do? It gives you a list of people that are typically going to have motivation. The reason people don't repair these properties or fix it is because they have something going on in their life that is more important than fixing that house. That's where you, the wholesaler, comes in. Guys, these lists are gold. I have always done code violations, and if you're not doing code violations, you need to take advantage of this opportunity right now.
Definitely. Just go to your local code enforcement department and ask for the list. They're going to give you trouble, but you got to keep asking. You'll get it. More at freewholesaling.com. Number 2, drawing for dollars or reverse drawing for dollars. Now, is this a free method? Is it not? I would say so, because let's say you're going to the grocery store, you got to drive through properties, right? So I would call it technically free, technically not. Whatever way you want to. You can skip this one if you don't, but I'm telling you, drawing for dollars, hands down, one of the best wholesaling real estate lists, because I don't care how saturated your market is. This is a list that nobody else can buy in wholesaling, and it is absolutely just a killer list to be doing. Drive around your neighborhood, look for ugly looking houses or neighborhoods where there's wholesaling deals being done. Look at Facebook groups, pretty easy to figure that out. Next, here's reverse drawing for dollars, which if you want to pour gasoline on the fire of your marketing, every drawing for dollars lead you have, get a yellow sticky note, just say, hey, my name is, so I'd write, hey, my name is Zach, please give me a call, I have a quick question about the house. You will get a, 70, 80, 90% response rate. And think about when you're calling a drawing for dollars list, what's the percentage of people are going to get in contact with when you're calling a list of, let's say, 1,000? Maybe 40% of them will actually pick up an answer. Or you get 90% of people calling you back on the sticky note. You get to do an extra 50% that your competition's not even doing on drawing for dollars. It is absolutely crucial. Reverse drawing for dollars, it is absolutely amazing. I don't know why no one else really talks about this. This tactic works for basically any of these free lists. Maybe not JVing, but for any of these other lists, they're absolutely great. Pre-foreclosure is actually the best because it's hard to call a pre-foreclosure.
And our number one by far is probates. If you've never heard of probates before, it's just a term to use when a person passes away and they own title to a property, a car, a boat, a bank account, any type of financial being. Is they don't have the ability to transact on these because they can't sign. The court has what they call probates, and that's the legal process of transferring the deceased person's final affairs to the appropriate parties based on their will, their intentions. It's up to a lawyer in a court. Where this comes to play in real estate is most of these people's biggest asset they own is their home. And why I like probate so much is typically these are properties that are outdated. Repairs haven't been their biggest priority. They just need a lot of love. And the reason for this is because, think about it. If someone's passing away, their priority is taking care of the loved one. The house comes secondary. When we get to the end process, the house is outdated. It's in need ton of repair. And here's the really cool part. Most of these properties are vacant. Why is that important? As a wholesaler, a vacant property gives you so many opportunities to get the highest and best price for your contract. Guys, if you're not doing probates, you are missing the boat. One of my biggest mistakes is I waited 9 years to do probates in my business. So if you're asking, hey, Rick, how do I get probates? It's actually really, really simple. These are court-appointed leads. You just go into your local county courthouse and you ask for the probate department and ask for a list of the probates. Once again, as Zach said earlier, you're going to get some resistance here.
Oh, yeah.
But you know how you beat resistance? You beat it with persistence. You have to be consistent. These are public records. Now, you have to find what you're looking for is the personal representative or the executor. That's the person in charge. And if you can reach out that person, either skip trace, you mail them, whatever. I don't recommend texting to them. You contact them and just simply ask them, are you interested in selling this property? And it's that simple. And you have to use your ears and listen to them. But guys, probates by far have the highest profit margin. And honestly, they are not expensive to do. Guys, you want to use probates. To me, they are the greatest source of motivated sellers.
Hands down, guys. So we have the free list, right? We know what to do. One tip for probates, I would say, though, is if you can't find the probates or they're giving a really hard time, one little workaround, which we found pretty easy, is just go to the public docket for probates. And it's pretty like this. It's pretty simple. They'll show, the estate of Mary Sue, and then they'll put the heirs, and they'll tell you there's no probates. Just look at the court dockets, and that's a way to get around everything. Because if you ask, hey, can I have the public dockets? Like, there's not like they can not show you. It's has to be public record.
Uh-huh.
It's really cool about that. Go look at the public dockets for that. It's going to work really well. So you might be asking, how do we market to this list then, right? We have the perfect list free lists. What are some of the best marketing channels that are absolute? And what I can tell you, there's 4 main ones that's free per se. There's more technically, but I'm talking about free. So number 1 is the king of them all, cold calling, just going after the seller. All you need is Google Voice. Go to freewholesaling.com. We got a free auto dial in there. I'll show you how to do. And then you can SMS text blast if you want from your own phone or Google Voice. A little more manual. One tip I can give to you is if you can't reach a seller, try to just slide in the DMs. Like go on Instagram, go on Facebook, find their name and just DM them. Works better than text message, I promise you. Number 3 is those yellow sticky notes. Slap a sticky note on a house. Bike there, walk there. You're going to get a call. It's like direct mail, but even better. And then lastly, not the biggest fan of it. This is why I do sticky notes instead, but door knocking. You can door knock.
Well, I used to door knock. But what's really changed is these Ring doorbells. People just don't answer the door like they used to.
Yeah.
So if it's in your DNA and it's in your personality to door knock and you like it, that's great. But actually, I prefer the yellow sticky note. It's just a more efficient use of your time. But hey, whatever works for you, whatever gets you in contact with a motivated seller, use it.
Exactly, guys. So that is our free ways of finding motivated sellers, finding real estate wholesaling deals. Comment below kind of other marketing channels you use for free. We'd love to know. But do us a big favor, smash that like button and subscribe, and let's get these deals absolutely for free. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.